Got another one here, basically about fluctuating scores. Someone might get perfect on games, then get only half right on the next test. Why does that happen? And what can you do to get your score to be more steady or reliable or consistent? That's a great question. And so score fluctuations are incredibly common, but all my students' scores fluctuate. Nothing is ever perfectly consistent. And like I said earlier, the LSAT has a margin of error of 3.5 points on each end. So that's a 7-point band. You could get a 160 one day, a 167 the next day. And that's within what LSAC would reasonably expect with their analyses. So that's just what happens. But I mean, obviously your fluctuations of getting half right versus perfect is a much larger range than that. And so I'd say honestly, work on games and work on your ability to remain calm and collected, even if you're being thrown for a loop, because LSAC has in recent years increased the difficulty of logic games significantly. And so there are all these weird curveball games, the likes of which had not been seen in over 20 years. And now they're suddenly coming back. And so you can prepare for that. You can do all the tough games ever released. I actually have a big list of them I will share with you in the chat here. And this is like every curveball weird game from exam number 1 up to the present day. And so you can work on those tough games specifically so that you're ready to adapt yourself when the situation requires it. That's what I think is most likely happening here. And if someone said like the circle game, yeah, so circle games are one of those rare things that only come up every now and then, but they came up very recently actually. And so those who studied the weird games were prepared, but those who had not studied weird games didn't really know what to do. And so LSAC wants to make sure that you are not blindly copying someone else's technique and that you're not just only able to handle ordering games and grouping games. Rather, they want you to handle pattern and circle and mapping and anything else weird like that. Because the general principles underlying the game section are the same, regardless of what the diagram may look like. It's about taking rules, making inferences, holding abstract principles in your short-term working memory, and then applying those again and again and again. That's how you keep yourself more consistent, by being ready for whatever they throw your way. Because it sounds like if you could do perfect on games, then you are very good at games, but maybe you're only good at like the normal games now at least. But the fact that you can do perfect on normal games means you can get there with weird games. It might just take a little bit more practice. Thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already to be notified of new episodes as I release them. And feel free to reach out if you need anything at all as you move forward with your prep. I'm happy to help however I can. In the meantime, I wish you all the best and take care.